all seem happy.
They do.
And you?
I'm positively elated.
The Bridgerton Season 3 finale shook things up from the book series with, spoiler alert, a gender-swapped love interest in the form of Michaela Stirling, Francesca's future partner.
Every sordid detail John has spoken about me is a lie.
But could future seasons feature more queer love stories with the main cast? Bridgerton showrunner Jess Brownell spoke to TV Line about some of the yet-to-wed Bridgertons and their romantic futures, including Eloise, as some fans have wondered if she could have her love interest gender-swapped as well. Brownell shared, "We've talked about Eloise in the writer's room a lot, about the fact that to a lot of people, she does read as queer, and I totally understand why. But we felt it's really important to hold space, in the show where everyone is obsessed with romance, for there to be a character, specifically a female character, for whom that is not the priority."
I'm so grateful now that Mama has you to absorb her attention. I can delay dealing with suitors at least another year. Maybe even longer if you hold out as well.
She added that currently, the writer's room's aim, quote, is not that Eloise just needs to meet someone of the right gender, but that, in fact, she is genuinely more interested in cerebral pursuits at this moment, adding that she, quote, is on a path of finding her place in a society that doesn't make a lot of room for women who care more about ideas than they do love. While there's no telling just yet how her story on the show will turn out, her journey in the book leads her to a happily ever after with, spoiler alert, none other than Sir Philip Crane. The character, played in the series by Chris Fulton, was introduced on screen in Season 1 when he arrived to marry Marina Thompson, his late brother's lover, and again when Colin visited Marina in Season 2.
Mr. Bridgerton, Sir Philip Crane. Pleasure to meet you at last.
Oh, yes.
It is pleasant to see you again.
And to see both of you. I've been thinking about your offer.
Brownell also spoke about Benedict, who viewers saw explore his sexuality in Season 3, with sparks flying with him, Tilley, and Paul. She shared that the show's writers, quote, talk about him as being pansexual, and the idea that for him, gender is not that important when he is finding attraction. Brownell added, he's someone who is interested in energy and spirit, and he's not interested in convention or labels. He sees a person as a person. And while this throuple chapter with Tilley and Paul seems to have come to a close at the end of the season, we're certainly not done exploring that part of his personality. As all queer people know, your queerness is always a part of you, no matter who you end up with. In the book series, Benedict ends up with, spoiler alert, Sophie Beckett, whom he meets at a masquerade ball, a plot point that seemed to be hinted at in the Season 3 finale. Exactly how Benedict's love story will play out on the show is still a mystery. Brownell told The Wrap, the introduction of Sophie is definitely still in the cards, but we are going to continue to explore his fluidity.
And you must be?
I'm Francesca, Bridgerton, Kilmartin.
One storyline that already has everyone buzzing is Francesca's. As readers of Julia Quinn's books know, and spoilers ahead for all others, Francesca Bridgerton's book follows her romance with Michael Stirling, the cousin of her husband John Stirling, following John's tragic death. In the show's Season 3 finale, Michael was introduced as Michaela, a change Brownell told Teen Vogue that she'd been pitching since Season 1 of the show. She explained, my approach to telling a queer story on Bridgerton has been to look to the books for thematic clues. I didn't want to just insert a queer character for queer character's sake. I want to tell a story that accurately reflects a queer experience. And the first time I read Francesca's book, I really identified with it as a queer woman. Maybe not in the way Julia Quinn intended. Her book is very much about Francesca feeling different and not really knowing why. In the book, I think it has a lot to do with her just being an introvert. But as a queer woman, a lot of my queer experience, and I think a lot of my friends' experiences, have been about that sense of feeling different and navigating what that means.
It is your debut, Francesca. Are you not excited?
I suppose entering society means I might meet someone. Would be pleasant to have my own house.
Brownell continued, my hope is that, watching this season, people see how we're telling a piece of that story, even starting in episode 1 of Season 3 with Francesca, in terms of all the debutantes having always imagined what they wanted their husbands to be like. Francesca realizes, I've never thought about that actually. Why is that? It was a thread we were playing with. She added that she got author Julia Quinn's blessing to tell a queer story with Francesca, and that a lot of research went into changing Michael to Michaela. She said, I think it was important for me, in planning a queer story, to think about how we might be able to tell a happily ever after and show queer joy, which we don't always get to see in period pieces. There are some good examples from history, without giving too much away, of women like Francesca, who are able to carve out happily ever afters.
Sometimes I miss what is right in front of me, and not miss Francesca. Her, I saw straight away.
Season 3 told the first chapter of Francesca's journey, where she meets and marries John. Hannah Dodd, who portrays Francesca, told Access Hollywood about her character's arc this season, ahead of the Part 1 premiere.
I think with him, it's just this person who's not trying to make her be anything that she's not, which is a quieter kind of connection, and I think there's questions around that, but the main thing is that she's able to completely be herself, which is such an important thing. She's as deserving of love as anybody else, so it's just really nice to see her kind of step out and go after what it is that she wants. And I think that's the journey that we go on with the character, is that she's learning what it is that she wants. Does it look a little bit different to her siblings? And having the confidence to be like, I deserve this and this is what I'm going to go after.